Yes, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another Blue Morning Show. Should I still call it the Blue Morning Show? I guess I can. But more importantly, welcome back to you all. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. I hope you're all doing well. Let me fix this bit of disappearing act there. It looks like, yep, there you go. I think it's a bit better right now. Maybe I need more light. But more importantly, welcome back. Today, I think it's going to be on the Blue Morning Show. Now it is the pre-game show. I wanted this to start earlier, but I decided to cut it in half so that, yeah, it's going to be really, really long, and I haven't been sleeping properly of late. But that's, by the way, we're here for the show to look at the lineup, analyze it, and see whether uh, we believe Graham Potter has made the right selections to help us get all 3 points and make it a three on the bounce, make it 3 wins in a row. We want to see that, whether you like Graham Potter or not. Chelsea is the entity we'll support, and if the club does well, everybody will be happy. Blue Clouds Media, my brother Zion, big up, real nice to see you. Always nice to see you here. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. And if you haven't, please click on the 3 dots by Blue Clouds Media's name. Click on go to YouTube, go to channel. Be sure to subscribe. Lots of excellent panelists every day, diversified panelists. And I believe me, you will enjoy the show. And you thank me later. He says the pressure on Potter hasn't gone yet. No, it is, but wins do go a long way. If we keep winning, you still be hearing less and less and less about Potter. Even his biggest critics will not say much, even though they still want him out. Like I haven't talked about whether he's the man or not, and you know where I stand. But that's, by the way, he needs he needs to win more games to get the fan base back. So yes, a 2-0 for Chelsea wouldn't be bad. I would take it. But do I think it would be that easy? No. But if he did his own work, it will actually be easy to beat Leicester City. The depth defense is everywhere, and they have an own goal machine in them. What's his name? He scored 2 own goals already since they've signed him. And if you put enough pressure on him, chances are he scores one more today. Yes, thank you for saying this. Happy birthday to the legendary, the Chelsea legend, the king himself, the powerful, the only player you can see, one of the only strikers you can see as powerful as him, and still as technical as ever. What a player he was for us, and he's one player forever. He's a king forever, a king of Stamford Bridge. Happy birthday to Didier Drogba, and thank you for mentioning that. Morning up the Chelsea. Um, Big up news. Okay, Nightbot, I'm not going to say hello to you. But happy birthday, Didier, legend for life. Yep, that's the truth. And good afternoon, Coach. It's my pleasure following you live from Liberia this afternoon. Mark James. Mark, I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. Please let me know how you're doing. And here is Glenn, big up, bro. Welcome, Mark James. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for asking that question. I think Mark isn't new here, but all the same, welcome, Mark. Welcome back, maybe. And if you're watching, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way. And if you're in the chat, probably the lineup probably by now should be out, but we'd like um, and would like it to be to have. Well, I always like to have it up on the screen by the time people start talking about it in the chat. Yeah. So tell me, I didn't want to ask this question because I know a lot of people will have one in mind. A lot of people will have one in mind, which is if I say what's your favorite Didier Drogba moment, a lot of people will go straight to saying his equalizing goal against Bayern Munich uh, in the 2012 UEFA Champions League final. But I'm going to ask that question out anyway. What is your favorite Didier Drogba moment as we talk about, as today is his birthday? So I want to get your thought. It'd be interesting to hear what you have to say. Sorry I didn't make it yesterday. I saw the video when I got home. I went on a rampage. No worries, bro. It's not an obligation. We all have to work. Plus, the bills don't pay themselves, so work is important. Oh no, do not bother yourself about that, brother. Morning, coach. We beat Leicester City with no manager and 10 men earlier this season. Porter got no excuses. I'm not going to even talk about them, except if the game ends. The beautiful game, by the way, big up and nice seeing you. Except if the game ends, and I look at our display and say this was a crappy display, and it wasn't down to the players. But I don't think it will come to that. I'm hopeful that we'll win. Am I certain of the outcome of the game? No, I'm not. But I just have to be honest. So if you're watching, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We have 17 likes, but I know we can do more. And I want to ask you again one more time your favorite Didier Drogba moment as a Chelsea fan. I want to know. I wasn't going to ask that question, but like I said, a lot of people will actually go straight to saying that the equalizing goal, his equalizing thunderbolt header against Bayern Munich in Munich actually in 2012. Yeah, but I've asked the question anyway, so let me wait and hear what you'd have to say. Hope he puts Mudryk in there from the start today. Come on, you Blues, let's do this. We know who we are. Yep. But what are we right now? Because usually when you start that song, we know we are. We know who we are. You go down, you say something like "Champions of Europe." You know who we are. So how do you end it this time? Yeah, I'm guessing that's why you didn't complete the song. But that's, by the way. Let's see. Aside his goals against Bayern, the ones that come to mind are the beautiful 1-2 finish against Man United, or his insane volley against Everton. I think he has another volley against Liverpool, but that volley, the one you're talking about, was that the one he has to chest up instead of dropping it? He did chest it up intentionally so that to keep the ball hanging in the air, and it turned and volleyed in. I forgot whether it was right foot or left foot, but he's scored. He has. I mean, there are so many. He scored lots of wordies. Really, he scored lots of wordies. Not one, not two. Too many of them. So it's actually very hard to pick one from his goals. The man's career is my favorite moment. I mean, that's another way to put it. What a footballer he is, an exemplary professional too. Uh, yeah, a warrior. And see how he looks on the pitch. If you see him dress up, you won't believe that's the same Drogba. I don't know if if he intentionally likes to look more like somebody you'd see, not in the Pirates of Caribbean, what the some warrior TV show whenever he's on the pitch. But off the pitch, if you see him, you know he's a handsome man. But that's why the way we'll move on from that. I'm waiting to see your favorite Didier Drogba moment. That Everton volley, but his double in the 3-0 win against Arsenal. So many great Didier Drogba moments. That's why I'm saying it's really, really difficult to pick one. So I think we can go with that until I have the lineup on the screen that will go along with. Yeah, chest up. Yep, chest up from near the half volley. Yep, the chest up was intentional to make sure the ball keeps hanging before he turned and hit it with some power. Drogba's contribution in his own box should also not be forgotten. Um, this okay, I get what you're saying, but in most cases, on to not the to that 2012 Champions League run, I'm not too fond of his contribution in our own box. But in terms of stopping corner kicks, he's done that. But when it comes to tackling players when the ball is on the floor, you could argue that penalty he gave away again, was it against Barcelona that Messi missed, was intentional, because had Messi taken the shot, he would have scored. You could argue it was intentional. Even the one against Bayern, you could argue it was intentional too. He had to stop him because had he gotten the chance, he would have put it away perfectly. So yeah, so I give him credit for that. He does quite a lot defending for us because he's good in the air too, in defending corner kicks too. So that must not be taken for granted. So I appreciate you mentioning that. If you're watching, people, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream, and please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And I also want to take this opportunity to let Liam Lane, if you're watching, I'm still praying for you, brother. I hope you become better, and you're becoming better and better as the days go by. And yes, if you're watching and you're not able to participate in the chat, yes, we see you. You provide great value to the community. So thank you so much. But we want to take this opportunity to ask you for one more favor. If you can, please be our hero. Take a second, drop a like on the stream, and nobody will even know you did that, but we will, and it will go along with us. So thank you so much, Coach. I've been away because the manner in which our coach continued to handle the team, but I am very much sure that our victory is certainly certain today. That is after two games, winning two games in a row. Your confidence on the team is back. Okay, good way. If I wasn't a content creator, I do that too. I usually delete all the apps on my phone if Chelsea start losing games, and I'm so not happy. I can't deal with it. But that's, by the way, fact the beautiful game. Yep. Um, my best moment was his penalty kick at UEFA Champions League final against Bayern. I'm remixing your comment because I understand what you're talking about. The final penalty kick, which most people thought would be his last kick for Chelsea ever, but he ended up coming back again for a second stint under Jose Mourinho. But yeah, I was so nervous, but he hardly misses penalty kicks, actually. Correct me if I'm wrong. So when he was the last one to take it, I was confident he was going to go in. But at the same time, I was so nervous. But he took it perfectly. And Neuer, I think Neuer fell fell one way and the ball went in one way. So happy birthday once more again and to the legendary, the king of Stamford Bridge, Didier Drogba. Let's not get hopes too high because Chelsea never performed when bookies put our odds of winning at 1.90, which is, it's simply put, when we think we'd mop the floor with the opponent. Yeah, that usually happens, but I hope that's not the case today. Chelsea has never won any game with such high odds. Oh my goodness. Andrew Phillips, why you got? Are you gonna be the bearer of bad news, really? Mm. Oh my word! Why did you just decide to scare the heck out of us this morning? But that's, by the way, you're being factual. But I appreciate that. Actually, no. My favorite job moment is not even a goal. It's when he beat malaria in 2 minutes. But that makes sense. I remember that he did a lot of work in Africa. But maybe you're talking about a different thing. But I remember he in some other African players and some other European players who not just him. It's a program against some program to help kids in Africa or people in Africa defeat malaria. And something that has to do with mosquitoes and all that, providing mosquito nets and all that. Yeah, I think that he did an excellent work, and also still doing a lot of charity work. And but one thing I have to say, he's looking like somebody that one day that will become the president of Ivory Coast. From what I'm seeing, the way he's going. Coach Fofana scored for under 21s. Maybe playing with them will help too. But I want him in the first team because he can actually do well there, if that makes sense. Drogba is an elite baller, Chelsea legend. You see the commitment whenever he's on the pitch. You see the fight. You see the leadership from him. He's not easy to deal with, really, and can score goals from any angle. Boy, he did it, and he did it consistently. What a player he was for us. We need a Drogba right now, and we have one that you can argue actually has the potential to do even better than Didier Drogba in Datro Fofana because he's quick, technically gifted, a fine dribbler, and look at his moldy FC numbers, but probably taken for granted because we didn't pay that much money for him. But Chelsea, until I die, thank you so much for kindly saying that. 23 likes, people. Let's get it. Let's get it to 100 likes as soon as possible before the show ends, and we will keep. And I made some decisions, but I'm taking it back. We'll keep doing and every Chelsea watch alongs on this particular channel. Plans are to give the other channel live are well and truly underway, and it will come through soon. I remember there was this tweet saying Drogba has been diagnosed with malaria, and like 2 minutes later, Ancelotti or Hiddink replied, Drogba has been cured. Yeah, but that reminded me of something else he was part of too. Yeah, but that's an good story though. Coach, if we cannot get a high profile striker What do you think of going after Jonathan David from Leo? We don't need Jonathan David. Nkunku is coming, remember. And if we're really making moves to keep Joao Felix on a permanent, plus we have Dacho Fafana, plus what's his name? Um, Amanda Boya will still come back. We don't need to be looking at the striker area. I think we still have a bit of an issue in terms of creating chances from the central area. And every time somebody talks about this, I'm still going to talk about it. I think we have bigger issues than looking for a striker right now. To me, everything we're hearing linking us up to any striker in the world right now, to me, are all rumors. But let's see what the club does. You never know. Big up to you to Dev031. Nice to see you. My confidence is not fully back yet, but I have hopes. But at least you're looking forward to watch a Chelsea game. That's a lot. That's really a lot. But I have hope for today's match. Potter has disappointed us so much that 2 wins ain't enough to bring the confidence up. But I am hopeful of a victory. To me, as much as I don't think he's the man, I think the last game, tactically, he was spot on, really. Although it didn't look pretty because Dortmund were on the front foot whereas we were on the back foot for a while. But the numbers will tell you the true story. We created better chance, more chances than them, and we could have scored more goals than we did on the day. But yeah, I take it. He did well tactically. I must give him credit for that. So that, by the way, I'm still waiting. If anybody else comes up with their favorite Didier Drogba moment, I will look at it. So we have about 5 minutes before we see the lineup there. This is still the probable lineup. And the lineup, we were trying the predicted lineup exercise yesterday. We didn't complete it. We didn't pick the second 8 because I had to run. I had to go pick up my son from school. But today is Saturday. We're here for the pregame show and for the watch along show. So we picked Badia Shile in the predicted lineup. Essentially, we picked Koulibaly, Fofana, 2 6s, Enzo, and Kovacic, Loftus-cheek right wing back, Ventura left wing back, Felix, one of the 2 8s. If you want to call it that, depends on the application. And Havertz starting again. That's what we think is going to happen. But let's see the probable lineup from the Fort Mock guys says. Let me see what they have there. Same structure, but this time Ziyech comes in. And that may well happen because Ziyech has experience and Potter trusts. Now he's trusting more of the experienced players than the younger players. But let's see what happens. And I don't think this is a position Madueke has played before. But do I think he's capable of playing here? Yeah, probably. But let's see what Graham Potter does. He may well not get a chance to start. Even Mudryk, there's a chance Mudryk isn't going to start this one. But that's, by the way, if you're on the chat, while I wait for the lineup to show up here, it will reflect in about 10 minutes. If you're watching, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream, and let me know whether you're looking forward to this particular game. What you think the outcome would be. If you think we're going to win, if you think we're going to win, let me know why. If you think we're going to lose, let me know why you think. So it'd be interesting to see what you think. Best Drogba moment is screaming at the camera. It's a disgrace after the ref robbed us against, and those people you mentioned are in serious trouble right now, given what we're hearing. Drogba isn't the one to take it lightly when he feels like the officials cheat. They did a poor job. He will scream at your face and could care less what you did to him. Yep. So, your thoughts. I want to get your thoughts. Are you looking forward to this game, or what do you think happens? Do you think Chelsea? Do you think we're going to win this one? Do you think we're going to lose this one? Whatever you think, you do let us know. And once more, happy birthday to the one and only King Didier Drogba, the King of Stamford Bridge. I'd like him to come back to the bridge or someday on some capacity. That includes a statue in his name. But here's the thing: I don't think he wants to. I don't think he wants to. He wants to go into football management or anything like that. If anything, from what I've been seeing him, it's looking more likely that he's going to become the president of Ivory Coast. I believe I said that before. I think I can use this to show you the pictures of the players Just give me a second. Let's look at them arriving. It's on Twitter, so I have the right to share that. It's in the public domain already. Let me see. Let's see. Yeah, and that's credit. If you're not following Chelsea Dodgers, an excellent Chelsea content provider. Lots of quick news even before others carry it. He's one of the first to show you to talk about what's going on at Chelsea. So go give him a follow, and he has the pictures of Graham Potter arriving. Just how he just aligned from the just got off the bus there. And we see Mykhailo Mudryk. I hope to see him today, but I'm not sure whether he's going to start or not. Who else did he show here? Chile and the Fofana arriving at Leicester. Fofana's home, more like home to him. He played for them before joining us. Any other player? And Basis Enzo Fernandez arriving at Leicester City. Any other player? And he says, yeah, he just reached. He's one of the actually quickest growing Twitter accounts. So go give him a follow if you're not. He's always up to date. Yeah, you've seen the pictures of some of the players that just arrived there. So excellent, looking good there, looking focused. Even the manager himself, I don't know if he's still planning. He's looking at the floor, so at the ground. So hopefully he's still looking into what to do to get us a win today. But that's right away. The question was, do you think we'll win, or do you think it will be a draw? Do you think we'll lose? Whenever you think, you let me know before we start looking at other things I want us to look at there before the lineup comes out. But okay, I've read that one. Let's see. Salah just missed a penalty. Yeah, and they're still losing, right? Let me look at the result. Football is something else. They beat Manchester United 7-0, and now they conceded first in this particular game. And let me know, are they still losing? Yeah, they're still losing in the 73rd minute, and Salah missed the penalty. It's looking like it's going to be over for them. And look who's beating them. Football can be cruel, really. If that makes sense. Come on, Chelsea, let's go. Yes, we'll be doing the watch along on this particular channel today. Let's see. One of the worst penalty I've ever seen. Okay, Drogba is more interested in politics. Yep, I think you've been following it. That's why I said it's looking more like he's going to become the president of Ivory Coast someday. Yep, I agree with you. And here we have, let me finish that. It's more interested in becoming in politics, not football management. Though he lost his contest of Ivory Coast football FA, but that's a sign. That's a sign of the direction he wants to go. Chelsea till I die. Come on, you Blues, let's do this. Probably some measure of corruption that led to him losing that. Because he would change a lot. He will focus on really helping the country reach their potential in football. But you know how things are done in some places there. Chelsea till I die. Come on, let's go. Let's do this. Yep, let's do this. And it says lineup is out on One Football app. Okay, okay. Let me try and share the screen of One Football app somewhere. But if it is 6:02, then it should be showing up here. Let me just do F5. Let me see if it updates here. Sorry for the blank screen. Apologies. Let's see. What do we have? Yep, lineup is here too. And let me know the structure we're seeing here is 3-4-2-1. Let me know if you're seeing that. Oh, I am shocked. I am shocked as to what I'm seeing. Coach, lineup is up. Yep, thank you for saying that. Cucurella gets the start. Surprisingly, really. But that's not, to me, whoever that would do a good job for us, let that person start. But it doesn't make any sort of sense to drop, what's his name, Badia Shile. I don't think he will be happy. He's not even in the Champions League list. He missed out on the Champions League. He's not in the Champions League squad. He didn't play the last game, and he's not done bad. He hasn't put a foot wrong in the Premier League, and boom, he gets dropped out to the bench. All I want is a win. So let's go for it. It doesn't matter to me. The manager selection, I'm okay with it, really. Big up to you too. A lineup is out on One Football app. Oladipo Mesole, thank you so much for the contribution, bro. I appreciate that. That will go a long way for the channel, but thank you so much. More importantly, One football app, it says Mudryk is starting, and same thing here as you can see on the screen. Mudryk is in the starting lineup. Wow, I'm shocked. Really, I did not expect him to start. But here's the thing: I'm learning clearly. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Graham Potter is into mind games. His Graham Potter honestly is into mind games. Um, because the way he answered the question with regards to Mudryk, if you paid attention to him, you would come to the conclusion that I don't think he starts. I don't think Mudryk starts today. I think there's just a program in place for him to follow to help him gradually, regain his form and all that. I think honestly, Graham Potter is into mind games, given the way he responded when he was asked about Mudryk. And surprisingly, in a 3-4-2-1, which means this isn't your this isn't where Mudryk is where he's usually played before, except if they get in the placement of the players wrong. But I'll check on one football app, or I'll check on what else should I check? Software score to see what they have up there. What do we have? Obad, not even on the bench. You can say it's all over for Obad, Chelsea Football Club. Mudryk goal today. I hope to see that. Potter is a disgrace. Can you elaborate? You can't just say he's a disgrace. What did he do that you don't like? And just say you don't like what he did. I don't think it's okay to say he's a disgrace because he didn't do things the way you want him to do it. Kish was right about the lineup. Yeah, because he was correct. Kishan, did I miss Kishan's comment? Oh, okay. On one football app, it says Mudryk is starting. Yep, it's starting. But on one football app, is he on the right hand side or on the left hand side? I'm going to check that in a bit. I saw Mudryk coming since he said Stalin is injured. Oh, yeah, maybe. That may well be the case. Hi, Coach. Good afternoon. I think even mentioning Mudryk in his address was an indication that Mudryk is on agenda, which means Pat. Yeah, I think you could argue that. JC, thank you so much for saying that. I hope you're doing well. Disappointed because of Badiashile. I'm disappointed, yeah. He should have started. I get it. Kukurea did well, and Chilwell did well too. But at least Badiashile has played in the Premier League and has actually been excellent in the Premier League. So why drop him to the bench? I don't. To me, I wouldn't have done that. But still, all I want is my club to win, if that makes sense. He's on the left. Yeah. So probably they get this wrong. So I'm not surprised. I think he should be on the left, and what's his name, Felix, on the right hand side. So thank you for saying that. I thought as much. Coach, we got the front three correct. Did we? Let's check what we have here. We have the front three. We had Felix, but people were voting, and people said Felix is going to be on the left, so we moved this to the right. So I think we didn't complete it because I had to go pick up my son. So, but I think we got it correct if we had the choices we made. So you're very correct. But yeah, we go with this. This may well change. I don't believe Mudryk is on the right hand side. Let's see what we have here. The press conference noted Stalin, Alba, James, Kante, etc. when going to play. Why are people still making it seem like they didn't hear that? Well, I don't know. Sometimes in the moments you can forget things. I agree, Potter. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm not going to rate that. I mean, Badiashile instead of Koulibaly. No, that would have been a risk. That would have been a serious risk. And if you remember, I told you during the predicted lineup exercise that I don't see the possibility of him leaving out Koulibaly. For him to leave out Koulibaly will mean Silva is available to lead the back line. I get it. Fofana is good. I get it. Badiashile is good and also calm on the ball, good on the ball. But I don't think he's capable of leading the back line now. Koulibaly has the experience. He has the experience to lead the back line even without talking. Yeah, but let's see how they perform today. It says, I thought we ended with the last message mentioning Mudryk. Yeah, we did, but maybe I forgot to plug it in. Yeah, so we got it correct, the front three. I'm tired of us having the last physical midfield, the least physical midfield. it doesn't really have to be physical, really. If you can play, you can play. But I get it, physicality helps in most cases. And the Leicester City midfield and the most physical too. They're not, really. And you can see what Brendan Rodgers is really trying to do there. He's trying to overload the midfield, give him the structure. But give me a second. Even if he plays Kepa as a striker, I don't care as long as he gets a 3-point. That's my argument. Let the manager do his job. But I honestly expected Badiashile to start because, believe me, there's a risk of the selection affecting his mindset. First of all, he's not in the Champions League squad, and he hasn't done anything wrong in the Premier League, and still left on the bench. I would have selected him, really, and dropped one of the Chilwell or Cucurella. But we move. What we have here, okay, Kachila, it makes sense. Thank you again for always agreeing. Big up Kachila. One day, hopefully, we will win today. One day, but I hope we'll win today too. We got everything correct except Cucurella, even Badiashile. But Potter, as usual, is predictably unpredictable. And whenever you say that, just give Roger credit before he sues us. Coach, with this lineup, we cannot lose. But I am sure Potter will find a way to do what? But Ashila play good, but this low-class coach drops him. I wouldn't. The guy says started is still good, but I would have given let Ashila start the game. But that's by the way, Roger. Your thoughts on the lineup, and big up to you. More importantly, I hope you're doing well. Here's the thing, and Roger was rested during the evening show so that he can be fit enough for this morning's or this afternoon if you're in the UK, this afternoon's show. So intentionally, he was
rotation, coach, rotation.
Yeah, rotation. Roger was rotated. So Roger, as you can see, see what Brendan Rodgers is trying to do. He's playing a 3-5-2, and usually they don't play like that. No. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I think he's trying to overload the midfield, and he has 1, 2, 3 in Mendy centrally, Maddison on the left side. But Maddison more attacking minded, and he's not the most physical. But one thing I like this guy here, I think he's moved him to the left. He's an own goal machine, and hopefully he gets one today. Is it Faiz, the one that looks like David Luiz?
Yeah. That's pretty cold, coach.
No, but I'm serious.
How are you? How are you, sir?
I'm fine, bro. But I'm being honest here. And for Ihanacho, you underestimate him at your own peril. He's not the most physical, but the slightest of chances he gets, he's a fine finisher on his day. But your thoughts on the lineup overall?
Yeah, I am shocked with Cucurella. This shows that he's taken it a step further. Listen, he Loftus-cheek has to replace Reece because he's sick apparently. He's got a stomach bug or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And Mudryk, I'm pleased he started Mudryk, but if I had to predict, I would have assumed that he would have played João where Mudryk is, and on the right he would have probably started Ziyech or potentially Madueke. But yeah,
on Madueke on the right hand side, right?
Yeah. And
I thought he would do the same too. But go ahead.
Yeah, and then João on the left. But I thought it was a toss up between Madueke and Ziyech starting, but I'm pleased because I was under the impression from his press conferences that Mudryk was still not quite match fit because of his conditioning because of the preseason and so forth.
That's why I'm saying maybe he's into mind games.
It's possible. It's highly possible. Listen, you have to be as misleading as you can to a certain extent because you don't want to show your hand, as they say. It's a poker expression. You know, you want to keep your cards as close to the chest, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. So I'm pleased that I'm not because. Listen, I know Badiashile is very young, but I would have liked for him to have started. I was
going to ask you that question, but go ahead.
No, because listen, he's had one, and I put this maybe a little bit too harsh, one semi-shaky game, and that was the first one without Silva, if I'm not mistaken. Other than that, he's...
One he was deployed on the left and Koulibaly on the right side.
And I think the only thing he's done wrong is maybe he sneezed and didn't say excuse me. I mean, he's played a perfect career so far. right? He's looked
Mhm.
impeccably solid. He plays like he's a veteran, Badiashile, so far, which is amazing. And the only thing, the reason why I would have done that is because I would have started either Cucurella or Chilwell and then rotated the two in case of injury. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
So,
Yeah, exactly, and not put the whole eggs in one basket.
yeah,
Really.
that's just my logic. But you know, um, I'm actually pleased because I remember during the week I was hoping that he would play a very similar lineup as possible, barring any injuries or sickness, and he's done that. So to his credit, I'm really pleased. However, I'm going to be honest with you. Two people that I wanted to start, Badiashile and Madueke. Those are the two people. No disrespect to Mudryk. I'm pleased he's starting. But if I wanted something a little bit extra, I wanted to see more of Madueke. But I think it's because of Mudryk's speed is maybe faster. He's maybe faster than Madueke. That could be the reason. And listen, Leicester, what they've done is usually the case. It's only recently that you're seeing teams play with a back three in the Premier League. And what do
Mhm.
they invariably do when you have an opponent that plays a back four? They try to match up because it's hard unless you turn to a 4-4-2. That's the reason why the 4-4-2 was brought in the 1960s, is to match up with the back three. And so that's you're right. They're going to try and crowd the midfield. So I'm worried about Enzo also. I would have liked to have possibly seen Zakaria start instead of Kova and have Kova come in. But
Pairing either of the two there, right?
yeah, I mean, listen, I can't see Kova finishing 90 minutes or Enzo, so I can see Zakaria coming on, and probably I want to see Chukwuemeka also play this afternoon. I want him to come on. I really do, because I haven't seen enough of him. But listen, this selection and this formation, I'm pleased with. I really am. Even the Cucurella.
Let me ask you the. Sorry, go ahead if you're still talking. Sorry.
No. All I'm going to say is the Cucurella. I can't really fault him to a certain extent because he's keeping it as if he didn't, people would say, why don't you keep it for another game to see how they solidify? So all we've wanted is for him to pick an 11 and stick with it, correct? And that's what he's basically done. So I can't criticize him that much, but I still have an issue with it to a certain
But
extent.
I get it. But here's the thing:
Yeah.
you made mention one of the reasons why you think again he should have, for safety reasons at least, maybe there's a reason to start Chilwell because it's looking more like he's starting to show the form he showed before that long-term injury. I would have started him,
Yes.
but Badiashile should have started.
No, I agree.
There's a huge risk of Badiashile feeling disappointed, and that can hit that is our player's mentality like this. Because first of all,
Sure.
he was omitted from the Champions League squad. He hasn't done badly in the Premier League. He's actually been one of our best players in the Premier League, actually creating chances from the defensive line. I don't think it's okay to really not start him in this game.
Well, I'm hoping, coach.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he's a young player. I'm hoping the coaching staff, whether it's Potter himself or his positional coach, will sit him down and explain to him why. It's man management. So I'm hoping he'll do that and explain. You have to listen. If he's a veteran, if he's 28 to 32, you won't need to explain it to him. But as a young player that's just new to this league and country, I'm assuming that they would sit him down and prepare him and explain to him as to why he's not starting today. But he's on the bench, so But I get what you're saying. But I think
and look at this. Do you know he's one of our best in terms of his best overall ratings? He's rated 7.2. He's the highest rated player of all the Chelsea players. His average rating is 7.32. Even Thiago Silva comes second to him.
On FotMob?
That's on Sofa score.
Okay.
His average, and I don't doubt it. His average rating.
I would put him up there also, but sometimes I see these player ratings and they don't make sense. So sometimes I wouldn't put too much into it, but I would have to agree. I would say he's one of our. Listen, with all the matches he's played for Chelsea so far, I would say he's usually one of the top players for us. I'm not denying that. I mean, I like him. I think he's got an amazing future for Chelsea. I'm so glad we got him. And he cost a fraction of Guardiola would have cost. I mean, he would probably go for more than 100 or close to it. And what did we get for him?
More, yeah.
Yeah, Badiashile, I think we got for a fraction of that, like 30-something million. So,
yep.
Listen,
and had he played one more season at Monaco, probably his price will go up because they will try to get him to extend his contract. And he would have cost even more.
35. Yeah, he cost £35 million. I'm looking it up now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, listen, that's a steal. We could have got 3 Badiashiles for the price of 1 Guardiola. You know, no disrespect to Guardiola, who I rate highly, but it's so. Listen, you're right, but I think that won't take effect because the coaching staff, I'm assuming, would have the common sense to manage him personally, one-on-one, and that's what they usually do in most sports coach. So, but I get your point, though, because even if you are talked to, this creates a, how would you say, a self-doubt to a certain extent. But I think at this. But I think at this
because
level,
no matter how you explain it to the kid, he will still feel like he's not doing something right.
But coach, if you give positive reinforcement, and let's be honest, when you're a professional athlete, especially in a top league, you generally have a lot of self-belief anyway. I think that's a fair
I get it, but he's still a kid.
Yeah. No, I agree. He's very young. He's ridiculously young. So I get you have a valid point, but I don't think it's going to go to that extent. But I see what you're saying, though.
I hope not, because I like him. Like I said, the lineup is one of the strongest we can see. But at the same time, I would have loved to see him. Let me catch up with the time so we can bring in Bobby. I was going to say Graham Potter. What am I thinking? He has fixed the lineup. Shame Badiashile suffers from our win at Dortmund. That's what it is. Because I agree. As much if it's not broken, why fix it? It isn't broken, but one change wouldn't mean you're fixing it. One change could mean you're actually perfecting it. But I'll take it. It hasn't done anything bad with the selection, which is I think looking at things from all the perspectives, seeing what that's a chance. It's the situation could become a problem for Badiashile, but I hope not. The right time for Mudryk to start. Yeah, he started, and that made me start thinking maybe Graham Potter is into mind games. He needs to give us depth. Yep, Badiashile has nothing to prove. Potter knows he's elite, and so do all of us. Koulibaly, on the other hand, has yet to convince us. As much as I love you, speak for yourself. Did you hear that?
I disagree with that a little bit.
Yeah, speak for yourself, bro. The blue, don't forget, speak for yourself. I love you, but I disagree with you on that one. He's yet to convince you, the blue, to forget.
Listen, he hasn't played at an elite level as much as I would have hoped to, but I wouldn't call him a bust.
I wouldn't really. Mudryk is going to smoke Faiz. Yep, is it Faiz? How do you pronounce it? Another pronunciation that comes to mind sounds like something as I now want to promote. No, I think it should be Faiz because it wouldn't be something that sounds like you're saying P. That Leicester looks like a decker boss.
By the way, Coach, on the BBC app and the Chelsea app, they're showing Leicester as a 4-2-3-1.
That may well be the case. This guy usually gets it wrong. I'm looking on Sofa Score. They're not showing the structure here. Probably they're waiting, but I'm going to try to go to another app to get it correctly. But usually they will fix it. So, but we know the 11 that's starting at least. I believe Madueke will come in later as a wing back.
Yes.
Okay, let's see French Power, my Roger. Let's see what else here. I want to get to everything we have in the chat so I can bring in Bobby. We don't have too much time. That's why I think Mudryk will score today. I hope he does. Big up to my bro. 343 Dilemma. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. I am excited for Mudryk to start. Potter tried to take pressure off with his comments. That's an excellent thing to do. That's what I'm saying. It looks like he's into mind games. Let's hope Mudryk expresses himself today. And let's hope it, to me, let me even mix your comment a bit. Let's hope he doesn't try to do too much. Because the game after that game he started, subsequent games, it just seemed as if he was trying to do too much. Let's crack on, Chelsea. Let's get a win. I think Badiashile will be fine mentally. I hope so. I hope that's the case. He's always been solid. It's not his fault. That's the truth. Saying Mudryk is not match fit might be. Roger, just give me a second, please. You can go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Hey, Bobby, you there? Can you hear me? You're there,
Yep.
Bob. Hello, Bobby. How are you? Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, Roger.
Hey,
What's
Bobby.
up?
I'm just Coach is busy just for a second, and I thought I'd bring you in. And what do you think of the lineup, sir?
Yeah, I was hearing him saying something about Badiashile or something. Look, do you know what? It's only Chelsea fans that do this. I watched Bayern last week. Do you know who was on the bench? Sadio Mane, João Cancelo, Serge Gnabry, Leroy Sané.
Rubbish players, huh?
I mean, come on. Yeah. This is a big team. It's a big club. There was a win. He wants to reward the players that played before. I think what's his name? Koulibaly has sat out a number of Premier League games.
Yeah.
It means nothing. You know, Badiashile, the kid, is going to sit out this one just for a bit of continuity. He might come on later. This is a nonsense to me. I'm not even thinking about it at all. What I'm thinking about is how to play to beat them. Because if anyone thinks Leicester's a walk in a park at home, they've got to think again. You know, I think
they'll be up for us.
We've actually struggled there. Even though we're beating them of late, it's usually never easy for us there. But
breaking news, Liverpool lost to Bournemouth. Wow.
Yay, that's lovely. I was talking to a mate of mine that's Liverpool today. Yet again at the under-9s this morning. And he was thinking they were going to put 9 past Bournemouth after their 7 past Man United. So that's nice. Anyway.
Yeah, you can't script football. It's not like that.
Exactly. That's Liverpool fans for you. But yeah, you know.
Bobby, I love you.
So you know, we've got to work out how to play against this team because they're difficult. They can be compact. You know what Brendan Rodgers' teams are like. But if we play to our quality, we beat them. Period. Badiashile's fine. His time is coming sooner rather than later. We've got Villa at home next. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts that. But this is nothing. Happy for Mudryk. He was able to start mainly because Sterling can't. But this is something we need to keep our eyes on. Very, very strongly. I'm very hot on fitness now. We need a fit team for the rest of the season. No more injuries. Yeah. You know, it's just we have that too much now. So in a way, I'm glad Reece James isn't playing, and I'm also glad perhaps that Sterling isn't playing. Good to have some players rested. That's just my
by the way,
take.
Gary Lineker is going to be at the match.
Well, he better be careful what he says then, wouldn't
he? Yeah.
All right, let me catch up. Bob, you're still speaking? Sorry.
Yeah, I've dropped.
Okay, thank you. It says that saying Mudryk is not match fit might be responsible to reason for not playing him previously, which is an obvious fact. But he needs game to get the fitness. Maybe I think he's fit, and maybe other aspect of fitness, because fitness could mean a whole lot of things. Match fitness also. Maybe we needed to understand his expression. Maybe. So correctly put, and I like constructive responsive like that. Graham Potter be like, Benoit, if you want to play, go on social media and post trust the process. Oh no, now I see why people are cracking up in the chat. Just like what's his name? Kukurea did a few days ago. Big up to you, Santiago Bono. I hope you're doing well. Reece James, okay. Nickname should be, yeah. I don't know when we signed a new player. I'm guessing that's your phone trying to spell it for you. But yeah, Reece James as nickname should be injury. injury, man. It seems he's not reliable at all, always injured. What is the point of having talent and skills when you are always in the hospital bed or recovery room? But this time he's ill. This time I don't think it's anything. And plus maybe the overall thinking may well be not to just risk it when we don't necessarily need him. The 3-4-3 Dynamo is hilarious. They're playing 3-4-3 versus low block. Elaborate on your argument. I want to know, Sancho. Good morning to all my neighbors. Good morning to you too. Knees Zion from the Blue Clouds Media. Please share the link to your channel so people can go check it out. Click the 3 dots to his name. Click on go to channel. You will not regret it. Lots of excellent panelists every day, and you will enjoy it. Time for the Blues to get 3 points in a row. We have to. Hi, guys. I hope you're doing well. You too there. Thanks for finding time to join this the show. Loftus-cheek will cost us. I don't think so. I think it will do well. Kulubalistan, Portistan, I'm not listening to you. I'm not listening to you. Let's start the fight. Much love, brother. Liverpool are a bunch of, yeah, exactly. Against Manchester United, they were firing on all cylinders. I think Manchester United capitulated on that day because they started well.
Oh, yes.
I hope Chelsea continues to grab points, but when I look at how Liverpool is struggling against Bournemouth, the Premier League is too hard. Yep, difficult to predict. You cannot script any game. You cannot you hardly correctly predict the outcome of games. Trying to take the pressure off in the position that we are in, it's like trying to suck up water while it's training indoor. Why it's raining indoor. I appreciate the effort from Graham Potter that he sort of protects them. But yeah, it makes sense. I take that. Man United will be mad about. Yeah, I think here's the thing for Man United fans. That loss will be even more painful now. I know that's off point, but do you agree, Roger? That loss to
Completely.
Liverpool will be even more painful to Liverpool fans now, given that Bournemouth beat Liverpool. Yeah.
Totally agree.
But the logic isn't that simple. But sorry?
It's a slap in the face.
Yeah, it is. But this is bullying at this point. But here's the thing, where I'd advise you not to jump to conclusions and say it is bullying. We don't know Oba's situation. We don't know what's happening on the training ground. We don't know what's happening between him and the manager. We don't know. And here's the thing, as much as I don't think that the fact that Oba, he's not been as prolific, he's not scored as many goals as we expected he'd score for us when we signed him from Barcelona. I don't think it's all down. Again, the situation is all down to his own doing. No, the services weren't coming, and the way we play is different. So it'd be difficult for him to succeed here. But the fact that the club tried to push him out, and he insisted on staying, that was a risk in the first place, no matter how you see it. I like him as a player. I believe had he remained at Barcelona, he'd had at least 10 goals by now, given the way they play. If that makes sense, I wouldn't say bullying because we're not there. He's getting paid for doing nothing practically. So I will not call it bullying. Rumor has it Kai Havertz has trusted and has trust end prices on each shin pad. Oh, he had trust the process written on each shin pad. Hence why he's starting. Okay, I get it. Liverpool just lost. Yep, they did. And to my bro, Bobby Fergie, big up Kuchela on the panel. Hope we don't regret playing Chile again. He needs rest. I hope so. But yeah, again, there's an argument for him to start. And I'm one of those that argue maybe he needs to play consistently, continue playing as it looks like he's coming back. He's starting to show the form he showed before he sustained that long-term injury. But I wouldn't have risked starting him and Cucurella in the same game. I don't know. But Potter, one thing I've learned, given our game against Salzburg, if he looked at the numbers and felt like he had to start nearly the same 11 against Brighton in the Premier League, then what I'm seeing is that if he wins a game, he usually starts that's nearly the same 11 in the next game, no matter what happens. I think that's one thing you could say for sure he does. But big up to you. Let's see what happens there. Hello, Chelsea family. 3-0 win today. I highly think so. With this confidence. Wow. I don't like it when I start saying that. Liverpool lost sevens. United are now 7 points clear of them. You cannot make things up. Oh, yeah. Okay. Graham Potter did say over a back injury. He said that too. But yeah, I'm starting. But again, like I said, let's not just jump and say he's being bullied. So pay attention. Even these debunks the rumors of him being bullied. He was on the bench the last two Premier League games, or the last one at least. Correct me if I'm wrong. So we shouldn't just jump to say he's been bullied. It's my birthday today. I hope we don't lose. CFC Nation, I don't know your name, but let me just call it CFC Nation. Happy birthday to you. Today marks the first day of the rest of your life. Hopefully you see success. Again, once more, happy birthday to you, brother. Yeah, happy birthday. We're celebrating you, and thank you for letting us know. We appreciate that. Happy birthday, CFC Nation, and hopefully Chelsea gets a win, but I cannot guarantee you that, but hopefully they do. What else do we have here? Happy birthday, CFC Nation. Hope they can get a result for us today. Yep, Chile's task today would be to guide Mudryk a bit. Like you guys are saying on the other app, well, Mudryk is on the left-hand side, and that's not surprising. But let's see. I'll look at it on another app. Potter is a DC fan. He keeps a Spider-Man, Black Panther on the bench. Maybe we should get over Batman's back. Maybe Potter message to enemies: if you're not managerless, you are in big trouble. Maybe I want to see that. If that's the reason we win this, I take it. He listed Alba as not being available to illness, or Alba, James, and Starling having pain. Thank you so much for saying that. Oladipo, my brother, I appreciate that. What else do we have here now? Okay, thank you so much, and happy birthday once more. So, Roger, anything else you want to say about the lineup, or do you want us to look at the inside?
No, I think I'm pleased with it for the most part. I say it's a good formation, and 90% I like the selections, so I'm pretty pleased with it, to be honest with you. Let's go ahead and
okay.
Let's do the inside, I guess.
Let's look at the recent form.
Oof.
Wow, it just looked like the injury risk gets, but some of them are already training with the first team. Kante he started training a few days. He'll be back in a few days. Back injury. Wow, that's serious. Early April. Raheem Sterling thigh injury. Early April, and Reece James late March. So I don't think this is anything that serious. Mid-April, that. It doesn't look like this list is going down. Are they up to 11 players? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I just pick up 2 players from the academy, then you have a starting 11. Talisman still out. Victor out. So this guy starts. What's his name? Is he on the bench or is he starting? I think he's English. That's a guy I don't like to see him play against Chelsea. Go ahead. You were going to say something?
You're thinking of Harvey Barnes, maybe?
Yeah, Harvey Barnes. I hate to see him play against Chelsea.
He usually hurts.
As much as I don't think he's the most technical gifted, but he's a pain in the neck.
He's got
really.
Speed, and he's clinical against us a lot of the time.
Yep.
Listen, Talisman is usually a person that hurts us also. He scored in the FA Cup final against us. They're hurting. There's a reason why they're in that position in the table, because they, like Chelsea, have been depleted this year with massive injuries. So,
you could say the form is nearly the same.
Yeah, when you're a top 7 team, top 8 team, and then all of a sudden you're in relegation area, there's a reason why. Yes, they've lost some of their players also. They've sold them, but they've had massive injury issues this year. But we shouldn't underestimate them, on any
we shouldn't.
day.
And do you?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I agree. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and look, you've seen the form here. practically the same, except that we have one more win, and they trashed Tottenham 4-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow. They've really.
Tottenham are inconsistent. Let's not forget that. I mean, they're like Liverpool to a certain extent. They'll go out and beat someone 7-0, and then the next week lose 1-0. You know, Tottenham have been playing quite poorly. And why did they beat us? Well, they get up for us. We have a target on our back. There's 5 other London teams, which is 25% more than that, actually, of our opposition. And they all get up for us. We're their FA Cup final, as the expression goes. So, you know, people like, you know, you can say the same for Liverpool, United, and City, but they don't have 5-6 other derbies, you know, other teams from their respective cities, but we do. And I think that's why Spurs don't get up for other teams, but they'll get up for us, for instance. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Big day for Mudryk. I hope he's able to get off the mark. I hope he does. He's a fine player. I think once he gets off the mark, I think you cannot stop him. Thank you so much, people, for finding time to join the show. We need more likes. Let's see if we can get it to 100. We're just stuck at 37. We should be doing better than that. Please take a second, drop a like on the stream if you haven't. And remember, we will keep the watch along on this particular channel. We have developed other programs for the other channels, still looking for more panelists from different clubs before that one takes a life of its own. So this is more like it. Mudryk is on the left here. This is One Football app, by the way. Yeah, Mudryk is on the left. I have essentially Felix on the right-hand side. It makes more sense than here. And I think these guys will probably eventually change theirs to something. Yeah, they will eventually change theirs to something. Moving Mudryk on the left, that's the only difference it will make. And they've actually changed the structure to 3-4-3 and not 3-4-2-1 like they had before. But let's see. I want us to look at the inside once more. I don't know if we've done that together during the match preview. It depends on the game. Okay, talking to Bobby. Says, hope Yox is going just saying hello to each other. There are Baines, got guy like a center up. He's a pain in the neck, even though he's not the most technically gifted. But he has that spirit when he's an industrious player, really. Let's watch the game closely together. Yep, we're doing that here. Andrew Phillips, nice to see you big up again. I don't know if I said hello to you. Brahima Ibrahim, Brahima from Ghana. Yeah, so you guys are doing a great job. Keep it up. It's going to be a win, hands down, but it's not going to be Potter's effort. Wow. Okay, but at least he selected a strong 11. The only argument I have, if I were the person that selected the 11, I would have started Badiashile. That's about it.
Hey, Coach.
Yeah.
Can I ask you something? And Bobby also. Would you have started Fofana? I'm talking about David Fofana up top, or would you rested?
David Fofana.
Yeah. Would you have rested Havertz, or would you try to build up the chemistry between Felix and I would
have rested. I think the chemistry is already there. I would have rested either of the two. Felix looked tired towards the end before he was taken out the last game.
Yeah, leggy.
He looked tired. I get it. We're paying him so much for how many games, but he's a human being. I would have rested either of the two. Even Dacho Fofana would have been able to fulfill the Havertz role. Give Havertz a break. But I get it. Dacho Fofana is not even on the bench, is he? On the bench, you have Pulisic, Hakim Ziyech, Noni, Madueke, Connie, Chico, Emeka, Conor Gallagher, Dennis Zakaria, Benoit Badiashile, Trevor Chalobah, and Marcus Bettinelli. He's not even on the bench. And he played with the under-20, under-21s yesterday.
Oh, that's right.
And he scored for them. Yeah. But again, I think the whole thing comes down to how much we paid for him. I still argue that tomorrow. I think the little time he's had on the pitch has shown that he can actually be part of this team, but it's easy. Here's the thing, from what I've seen Graham Potter have done, I think I don't know if it'd be right to argue. He usually don't take the younger ones seriously. I don't know if that's the case, because there were games where
Yeah,
I'd
he
have
has.
rested Havertz, by the way.
Sorry.
Sorry?
I would have rested Havertz and played.
Yeah, either of the two players, like I said, Havertz maybe too, because he does lots of running. Roger, you were saying something.
You know, I kind of disagree with you politely, and I say that because look, he didn't pick Pulisic over Mudryk. Does that make sense? I'm actually surprised he didn't start Pulisic today. That's one player, because he came on in the last 10, 15 minutes in the previous game. I thought...
Then that's enough. That's not enough to start him today. But go ahead with what
Yeah,
you're saying, brother.
he's not match fit.
Yeah, true. I get it. But I would have assumed that would have been the leading indicator. But you're right. It's probably because of his lack of match fitness. That makes sense.
Yeah. For me, I would have rested either of the two. But you could say Felix. It looks. But it will make sense actually, like Bobby said, to rest Havertz in this game, and that's what Fofana would have done an equally good job because he's still young and he likes to press too. But let's see what goes in the chat. I have let's see what else we have here. JC, a win today will get us closer to the magical 40 points mark to avoid the relegation battle. I'm guessing we are winning today. Oyuga, I hope to see that happen. Nice to see you, James Oyuga. I hope you're doing well. Please keep dropping the likes on the stream. We're just at 41 likes. Let's get it to 50 and shoot for 100 as soon as possible. We all know Potter doesn't rate Mudryk. No. How do you? Chimera, you were the one also that said referred to the Aubameyang's case as bullying. No, you can't say he doesn't rate him. And I'm quite sure, I'm going to say this no matter what anybody says, I don't think the club will sign the check. That's a phrase because usually I don't think they sign the check, but that makes you understand what I'm saying. I don't think the club will sign the check with that ground, but they said, yes, I think we can make do with that player. Because even, I get it, the scouts will do their work, but they will still consult the manager. So I don't think it's okay to say he doesn't rate him. What? He came, and a few days after his arrival, he gave him an opportunity against Manchester City, against Liverpool. And a few days later, again, he gave him a start, which he struggled a bit, plus other issues people... No, please don't say that. I don't think that's okay. My man wouldn't start if Sterling wasn't injured. Potter will also prefer Pulisic over him if Mudryk doesn't step up. Okay, there you go. Now your statement makes sense. If you say if Mudryk doesn't step up and he starts Pulisic, then we'll all say, yeah, Pulisic deserves to start over him. But in Mudryk's case, here's the thing. I think he has an issue, and the club recognized that. Lots of problems. He just arrived, didn't play that much of football before he arrived. I think for 6 months or 3 months at least, and was in the midst of a preseason before we signed him. So all those factors do come into play. I wouldn't say he doesn't trust him. Havertz has done 19 minutes after 19 minutes. This is how we wreck our players. He deserves a break. I think that makes sense. Coach, we needed to stick to our winning formula until we reach the promised land of 40 points. Let's see what happens there. Bobby Fedview, okay, just responding to Bobby there. Undroppable. No, 10 in the process, run him to the ground, and then we'll be without him. Is that what you prefer? I wouldn't risk that. Judge Mudryk, when you have a better sample size, that's another argument I will bring up. How many games has he started? How many? I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if he started up to 2 games. And how many times has he come off the bench? And how many minutes has he played when he come off the bench? So it's just not fair to just start judging him. Our preseason will start as soon as we reach 40 points. That makes sense. The moment we get to that, then a lot of these young players will get a game time. But that will only happen if we get to 40 points and we don't see the possibility of us making it to top 4. That's when you can call it preseason. But if we get to 40 points and mathematically it's still possible for us to get to top 4, it will not be preseason. It will still be we'll still be playing with all seriousness, if that makes sense. Roger, what do you make of that?
I still think he's probably going to want to make Europa League. I think that will be the target. I think until they're mathematically eliminated for the top 4, I get that. But I still think he would want to be in the second tier. This is my logic. If I was the coach, that's what I would want to do. If you can't make the first tier, make the second tier. And then if you're mathematically eliminated from that, then it will be a pre-season, so to speak.
Yeah, I agree with you, Bobby. Bobby, what do you think? For giving this comment from JC on the screen, our preseason will start as soon as we reach 40 points. I'd say, like I said before, it all depends on where we are. If after we reach 40 points, there's still the possibility of us making it to top four. We'll still be playing with all seriousness. Bobby, your thoughts given this comment on the screen?
Yeah, absolutely. We're Chelsea Football Club. We don't do that. Reach 40 points, then go sit on the beach. That's for people like Bournemouth and Brighton. And no, we keep fighting for the top. In fact, we should still keep fighting for top four. Once we're in with a chance, we go for it. I don't do that, and I don't think the fans will accept that.
Oh no.
The team will not be allowed to do that by the fans, and that will definitely guarantee that Mr. Potter loses his job. So you keep going. You just keep going. Go as high as you possibly can to recover from a dreadful period in the league. Football's a funny thing. Very, very funny thing. You never know. You might end up finding yourself in the top four. Then what would you say with your foot off the pedal after reaching 40 points? Nonsense.
I think
Well,
what that person means, Bobby, is that I think with regards to player selection, do they play with the
given the young players an opportunity after it is clear that we will not be fighting for relegation. But my response to that was that it all depends on whether it is still mathematically possible to make it to top four or secure a European place. But go ahead with what you were saying.
Yeah, you still keep doing your best, 100%. I don't know. Is Detro Fofana even on the bench?
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Yeah, that.
But he played yesterday, Bob. Coach was saying he played yesterday in the under-21s.
Yeah, they said he played for the under-21s and he scored a goal.
They must have spotted something that, look, it's not the end of the world if these kids aren't out playing. That's for sure. It's just that we have a dearth in the striking department. That's why I call for him. If we have strikers, and then I would say, okay, he wants to take his time with him. I mean, how old is he? He's 19, 20 years old. So, he wants to take his time. That would be my take on this. And maybe, he might notice some technical things or tactical things in him.
He's 20. He just turned 20 2 months ago. Wow.
Okay, I mean, he's a very young player.
A fetus, yeah.
So, I'm not that in a rush for him, except for where I see a need, and he appears to be the better option. Now, I'm not for this playing Havertz game in, game out, twice, 3 times a week. I think that's
how you get injuries.
Yeah, that's just tempting fate. And this is a Chelsea thing that we need to stop doing. Use your squad. You should have enough coaching to be able to rotate. That's the secret to success of any big club. Yet again, I referred back to midweek and Bayern Munich. Boy, you want to talk about rotating players? You want to talk about players on the bench? Look no further than them. Just scream and shout and throw tantrums over every little thing. Players are going to sit on the bench. This is top flight football. It happens. And Fofana, well, as a young player, I would like to believe. I always like to take the positive before I go negative. I've always been, I can't say I was, Potter is the manager I wanted. No. But when he came to Chelsea, I've been behind him. It was only when he started this ridiculous streaks of losing and not showing any tactical recovery, not being pragmatic in some games that I turned on him. But if he's going to make he is the manager. He has to have room for making some decisions. We have to trust him, especially with some players, especially young players. But and wait and see. Now, and he earns that trust by winning. If he keeps losing games, then of course he can't. Everybody will not have faith in him for anything. But if he keeps bringing out the results, then we'll have to take faith and say, look, he's seen something in Detro Fofana that he feels needs further developing. One thing I don't want is for that kid to go out on loan. I think that's a bloody waste. Who knows? We need a striker in the summer. We don't know if we can get one at a
I fear
reasonable
he may,
rate.
Bobby.
Yeah, well, I think that's foolishness.
It
Yeah,
would
no,
be
I
a poor
agree.
decision,
It's
really.
foolishness.
Plus,
Broja,
we'll have all the cup games come next
yeah,
season.
It's not like
Broja
we've
won't.
got. It's not like sorry, Bobby. It's not like we've got Drogba in his prime at our club, or anything like that. I totally agree. Yeah,
Exactly.
sorry,
Broja
Bobby.
won't be back till about what, October next year.
Probably.
October this year. And if he comes back, what state will we have him back? I mean, we can't afford. I personally don't see the sense in him going on loan, but we'll
I
wait and see.
totally concur.
Maybe he won't. Maybe he won't. But it's all about today, lads. I think, let's apply ourselves correctly and win. I've seen on the screens that, what's that guy that always disrespects Chelsea, goes about kicking our players, and the big guy in Leicester.
I've got 1 in a million shot of naming him.
Oh, yeah, I've forgotten. He's got some African sounding name, and he's a player that, he gets our back up all the time. That's the Chelsea fans with his disrespect. And he tried to break.
All right, quickly, go ahead, Bobby. Go ahead. We have about 3 minutes. I wanted to ask you one more question and ask Roger, then we call it a day.
Just quickly, he tried to break Jorginho's leg once. If you can remember him, then give him a shout. So
Daniel Partey.
Sorry?
Partey.
What's his name? No, Partey is
I think you're talking about Partey. Daniel Amate.
Amate, that's his name.
Oh, wow. Good memory.
Oh, I can't stand that geezer. Honestly.
Bobby, you're in good form today, Albie.
Honestly,
yeah, it's Daniel Amate, yeah.
That's him. That's the one that we don't
Bobby,
like.
what type of game do you think we'll see today? We have about 2 minutes so that I can get ready for the watch along.
They're going to try fast break us as they can.
With Vardy.
And low block. But I think we've got the players to break them down today. I really do. I think if we get it right today, we give them a good hiding. Honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. It's how clinical can we be? It's the same question each week I ask myself, Bobby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if we can avoid hitting the post today, yeah?
The post is usually the target, so sorry, we're going to hit the target again today. After 40 points, a Potter can start holding player auditions for the UEFA Champions League games, maybe, because that's the priority right now. Gents, a preseason is during the summer, not in the middle of a season. That's correctly put there. Fans thought that Fofana played well in his last game, but Potter was quick to push him out to the wing early in the game for some reason. Not just fans. He did well. He was the only one that played to show the spirit, that fought, that was actually lively during the duration of his stay on the pitch, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure, but we all see things from different lenses. Maybe
no, I saw that too, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Then I'm saying, in terms of Potter, because I know lots of fans saw that and saw he was lively. I think we're taking him for granted because we didn't pay that. We didn't pay like 30, 40 million for him. Had we done that, we'd be working hard to give him a game time now. Go ahead.
One thing I know about Chelsea fans, they like their young players. They don't even have to come from the academy. And if you don't treat them right, you soon hear about it. Everybody has known what this kid is doing. We're hoping this is a professional decision. If not, we'll soon start shouting about it because he doesn't deserve not to be given a chance.
Yeah.
At least.
I'm perplexed, gentlemen. I am.
Yeah. I am, honestly, and we'll be honest about it. Let me catch up so we can round up, get ready for the Watch Along show. The Watch Along for Chelsea game stays on Chelsea Perspective. Chelsea must win. We must win today. Is it a Rude Bellingham, the disrespectful one? No, he was talking about, but that's a good name for Jude Bellingham. I think he overdid it. He was talking about Daniel Amate, the Ghanaian international. I don't know why Potter not playing Mudryk and PSG guy often. I don't know. He knows he's the guy that trains the players, so he knows what he's seeing. I know what shirt to buy for Bobby now. Cheers. Okay, buy it for him. On goal fights to break the duck. I hope he does that for us. I will take it anytime, any day. No crossbar challenge today. I hope that doesn't happen. Once we have a Faiz and Castilla are going to suffer against João Felix. I hope they do. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you all finding time to join the show. I don't have time to start thanking everybody about 2 minutes before the Watch Along show starts. So I'm going to run. See you guys on the other side. Thank you so much. God bless us all. And
Cheers.
bye.